Thank you for such a warm introduction. It's indeed a pleasure to be here. I want to say that Arouca Maloney is the most, all your plenty. I came here and everybody's well dressed. You feel a good sense of order, of dignity, that people are proud to be doing what they're doing. I must say, I feel very, very pleased. So I think you should give yourselves a round of applause. I might say it's the most, I think it's the most confident constituency I've ever met. I used another word, but I say the most confident constituency I've ever met, and I think that you guys deserve so much credit for the work that you have been doing and the work that you are about to do, because I know that it is good. I feel the energy and the positive vibes from the youngsters and from the people who have offered to serve by the way you've presented so far. And I must say, as a not so young person anymore, I must say I'm very, very pleased. To the Honorable Mrs. Camille Robinson Regis, Member of Parliament for Arouca Maloney, Lady Vice Chairman of the People's National Movement, Minister of Housing and Development, a hearty good evening and thank you for having me. Mr. Jelani Reid, Chairman of the Arouca Maloney Constituency, officers of the Arouca Maloney Constituency Executive, Party Group Chairman, Constituency Representatives, Constituency Delegates, Cabinet colleagues, members of government, members of parliament and senators, even past members of parliament. I see Glenda here with us today, and it's a real pleasure to have you. Thank you for your service and your outstanding work that you have done. It's been a pleasure working with you. Also, former member Marilyn Gordon and honoree, thank you so much for your service. To the Chairman Kwesi Robinson, Councillors Paul Leacock, Josiah Austin, Stefan Watley, and Dwayne Mora of the Tunapuna Piako Regional Corporation, all other visiting local government practitioners, officers of the Central Executive of the People's National Movement, Chairman and representatives of the National Youth League, chairmen and officers of visiting constituencies, other specially invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, or should I say PNM family, a hearty good evening. It's indeed a pleasure and a distinct privilege to stand with you and before you at yet another PNM constituency convention. I am indeed humbled by this opportunity to address you as you celebrate the beauty of democracy and recommit yourselves to selflessly serving the people of this great constituency, and as we advance in our crusade, or national crusade, to create a brighter future for all the people of Trinidad and Tobago. I bring you greetings from the mighty Tobago West constituency, the jewel in the crown. I call Tobago West the jewel in the crown of the PNM, and as much as some of you may be shy to confess, life is best in Tobago West. The writing is on the wall, and we can all attest. Today, we celebrate Carnival in my constituency, but I chose to remain resolute in my duty and to pay tribute to the Arouca Maloney constituency. This constituency was created in 2007, 15 years ago, and you have never chosen another party. You remain loyal to the People's National Movement because you are a right-thinking people, an upstanding people. I think it's safe to say that the people of Arouca Maloney know quality. You stand tall on integrity, and you believe in doing what's best for the growth of your people and for the development of your country. Give yourselves another round of applause. I want to take this opportunity to salute the hard-working member of parliament for this constituency, leader of government business, the matriarch of our parliamentary team, a fearless fighter, woman king as we may call her, a woman warrior, mother, a mentor, a confidant to me, and a friend, the Honorable Camille Robinson Regis, one of the person who was helping me earlier, she said, thank you for giving up the carnival to spend time with us. And I say, when Camille asks me to do something, I don't even think I can say no. Because she is always, always there for me. This is the lady who answers when I call anytime and willing to talk about anything. And she makes you feel like you're her favorite until you meet the other people who think that they're her favorite too. So you have a gem in a representative, and I think that anywhere people gather, whether it's a party, at church, at school, you need a woman warrior like Camille, and we are truly, truly blessed to have you. May God bless you in all your undertakings. So, brothers and sisters, it's always with a deep feeling of humility and great expectation that I look forward to any and every gathering that the PNM may have, whether it's a convention, a conference, a party group meeting. We come out in our numbers and you feel that energy, you feel that warmth, you feel that love. Today, as members of this party, we celebrate our right, our responsibility, and our duty to elect office holders to our party, to promote democracy, and to change the guard as we deem necessary. We are the people's national movement. We make the changes. We elect these folks to office when we see necessary. Nobody else is making that decision for us. And I think that that is the beauty of the people's national movement. People are the heart and the soul and the lifeblood of the movement. Not a party in the ordinary sense of the word, but a movement, a family, a rally for all, a convention for all, and of all, a mobilization of all the forces in the community. And I think we can clearly see and feel that here in the Arouca Maloney constituency. As a 40-year-old Tobagonian woman, I can testify I've witnessed tremendous transformation in this party over my time, from the development of the Tobago Council in 1998 to one man, one vote, to more power to the Tobago Council. I've seen this party embrace social media and new technology. We revised the Constitution. We adopt new policies towards the development of our people and our country. And that is the nature and the essence of the People's National Movement. Although we are 60 years old, we continue to transform, to adapt, to bend, to flex, and do what is necessary so that we remain robust and relevant. And I don't think another party could boast of the same. Our journey over the past 66 years, has not always been a smooth one. But on every occasion, we have demonstrated an ability and a willingness to overcome each and every obstacle, constantly rising to the occasion, proving ourselves united, mighty, and strong. We have fought every single seat in every election since our inception in 1956. We've won some, we've lost some. We've kept the business of Trinidad and Tobago, the business of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and the welfare of our country our number one priority when we are in and even when we are out of government. Always obeying the law, always maintaining good order, keeping our party together in and out of government. Show me another party that can boast of the same. They patch up a pickup side for elections, and after they've won, have no sense of direction because they lack vision, have no clue how to govern, and now they have to struggle to understand that lies and hatefulness can't build a nation. 66 years is not 66 days, and 6 decades is not 6 months. We have been in town long, and we've gone the distance for this nation. We've gone through, and we continue to go through the rigors and the tests to ensure that we give Trinidad and Tobago the very best we are, the People's National Movement. Throughout our country's history, the PNM has courageously and consistently showed up and showed out on behalf of and in defense of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. We have carried the torch from milestone to milestone, from colonialism to independence, all the way to republicanism. Our track record speaks for itself. unparalleled, second to none, undefeatable, indefatigable, and always about the people's business. Every single thing that speaks of progress and pride in Trinidad and Tobago carries in its DNA chromosomes of the people's national movement. We've built the schools, primary, secondary, tertiary, around 1956, even in the 1960s. We promised to give this nation 80 schools by 1980, and we did. When the NAR beat us 33-3 in 1986, they promised to do 80 schools in their 5 years and could not come anywhere close. I don't even think they built 10. We engineered the institutions. We even gave you a national ID, national motto, and the national anthem. If you carefully examine all that is positive about our country's development, you'll find the only constant is the PNM, the PNM, the PNM. Free education, the PNM. Economic growth and industrialization, the PNM. Old age pension, that's the PNM. National School Feeding Program, the PNM. Common entrance in 1961, introducing common entrance in 1961 so that everybody could have that chance, a common chance to enter secondary school. Hence, it's called common entrance. Before, if you were not in the right religion or have the money to go, you didn't go. So we introduced common entrance in 1961. Government-assisted tertiary education, as we say, GATE, that is PNM. First commercial bank, PNM. Today we can boast of $5 billion in social assistance, PNM. Under Foster Cummings, we have the Youth Agri-Homestead Program, PNM, and we work with the young men of East Port of Spain in the Empower TT program, PNM. Going 63 years strong, the Best Village program, PNM. Free early childhood education, PNM. Carenage Fishing Facility, PNM. Diego Martin Regional Complex, PNM. Over 300 community centers throughout Trinidad, PNM. The Laventil Swimming Pool Facility, PNM. Mova Swimming Pool Facility, PNM. And how could I forget Arouca Maloney Swimming Pool Facility, PNM. And they want us to feel guilty when we celebrate, and they still sit and wonder why we call ourselves great. When we deliver with class. And when we work not only for some, but for all, so they can spin it as they like. They could deny it all they like, but this is all record. This is our proud legacy. 66 years long, 66 years strong of stellar leadership and perseverance towards the realization of one fundamental vision. A vision of a cohesive country of dynamic diversity where discipline, tolerance, and production are the highest priority. A leading light in the Caribbean and a respected member of the global community of nations. A healthy democracy where fundamental rights and freedoms are enjoyed by each and everyone. A progressive society where opportunities for growth, development, and the realization of our dreams are fully available and accessible to everyone. That's the PNM of 1956, and that still is the PNM of now. 63 years. We win alone, we lose alone. Same name, same color, same principles, same pillars, same party, same promise, same pride. In good times and in bad, we are the People's National Movement. Arouca Maloney boasts of doctors today. I listened to the different speeches and I heard Arouca Maloney boasting about doctors. I had the privilege yesterday of attending graduation of the Faculty of Science, I think the Faculty of Medical Science at UWI yesterday. and hundreds of youngsters, young professionals graduated. My sister graduated also. It was a long, arduous journey. But I saw so many young people from Tobago, from throughout Trinidad and Tobago, and I know that at least 70% of them, their parents could not have afforded it on their own. And we can see so many people looking like you and me, crossing the stage, walking the halls of UWI, graduating. And I say, look at the gate at work. Look at the PNM at work. And they don't want us to tell our stories. But I was born in a family of 8 children. My mother was a checker on a works gang, and my father was a checker too. You know what a checker is? The person who marks the time in the morning for the road gangs that come out and sweep the drain and so on. That's the person that keeps the time. So both parents were checkers working for roughly $2,000 a month. And it's 8 children. We all 1 year apart, and we eating plenty. And when it's time to go to college, there's no going to college. There's no money to send you to college in the 1990s. There was no gate in the 1990s. And there are many who would tell you that in 1998, there was dollar for dollar program. But who care about a dollar for dollar program? If you do have a dollar, you don't care where the next dollar coming from. So gate wasn't around in 1998. And I did not get to benefit from GATE. I took the SATs over and over and over and won a scholarship to go to the US. Prior to that, even as a secondary school student, I had to work every July, August to get money to go to school the following term. My daddy said, oh, you like nice things? Well, you had to work to get nice things. So I've sold books, I've sold water on the streets of New York. I've been working since I was 14 years old. Today, the young people of Trinidad and Tobago don't have to wonder how would they get into tertiary education, how they get into tertiary education. It gave us, when I went to Bethune-Cookman College in Daytona Beach, Florida. When it was time for my master's, GATE was on the scene, and Help Loan was on the scene. I made my way back to the Caribbean and went to UWI to do my master's at UWI, and I saw so many children who looked like me, who came from the same background. And I say, whoever doing this home, when I finish, I want to go home and help them. And when I returned home, I made it my business to find the PNM where it was and become a part, brothers and sisters. So graduation means a lot to me. It's the freedom to dream. It's the freedom to change your background. It's the freedom to change things in your family, in your community. So graduation is always a joyous time for me. And there are those who will tell you, well, that's what the government is supposed to do. That's taxpayers' dollars. But we've been paying taxes all these years. And the government didn't give it to us that time. It took people's national movement policy to change our lives for the better. And no matter how hard it got, because we've seen some hard times since the introduction of GATE in the early 2000s, but we never faltered. We made it our business to keep education free and to keep GATE alive and well. These youngsters in high school, they say freely, I want to be a this, I want to be a that. We couldn't say that because you didn't have the money. In the back of your mind, you know you don't have the money. How you could be a doctor and a lawyer? People say they want to be astronaut and things. I say, dream on. Dream on. They have that freedom to dream, and they know that it is within reach. Thanks to the People's National Movement. And if that alone is our contribution, then we have done well. Because yesterday I saw the daughters and sons of CPEP workers and URP workers. I see people put on their dan and they come out to support their children. I saw grandparents who never had the opportunity to get a secondary education. And I felt the joy of young professionals who earned a quality education just as good or better than that offered by any other first world nation walk that stage with pride, knowing that they can make their way anywhere in the world because they have that qualification. Some of them walk the stage and they come out and they get in the professional field and say, I'm independent. You're independent, okay. But I say thanks to the People's National Movement. And I share this with you, and I feel the freedom to share my story anywhere I go. And nobody's going to stop me or try to humiliate me from sharing my story. It's a socks to stocking story. All right. It's a PNM story, and as long as there is breath in me, honey, that story is going to be told, because I know that it was not possible without the policy of the People's National Movement. So I'm here to tell you that what I saw yesterday, as the old people say, is not run, carry, or bring come. It's not he say or she say. I was there. I saw it. I heard it. I felt it. After a global pandemic, we have the liberty and the glory of witnessing that. Amidst an energy crisis, I witnessed that. Against the backdrop of financial challenges and global recession, this PNM government makes sure that all of us can witness that. We are a government beating the odds, facing the fire, delivering on our promises and overcoming, putting to rest, shutting the mouth of every naysayer. And many of you here today can testify yourselves because you have relatives. You all know somebody who have benefited in some way, whether it's free education, whether it's social assistance, young men and women who missed the opportunity while pursuing their secondary education, who got a second, third, and fourth chance to do MIC, CCC, MyLat, MIC. All that, brothers and sisters, is the work of the People's National Movement. And for those of you who are too young to understand, when you didn't pass common entrance in Standard 5, you had school grandpa and school grandma going to Standard 6. They got to wear long pants in Standard 6. And after that, that was it. We introduced these programs so people could have a second, third, and fourth chance. We know of businessmen who have accessed grants and the abilities to improve their training and their skills based on programs of the People's National Movement. In the absence of that, their dreams to be entrepreneurs would have just been that, a dream. But PNM policies change lives and change families and change the possibilities for communities. And that we must be very proud of. All of us in some way or the other have been touched by the programs of the People's National Movement. And if you don't want to admit it now, when you go home and you look in the mirror, you know very well. So they can spin it, they can doubt it, they can deny it, and they can lie. At the end of the day, we can all testify how the PNM policies have changed our lives. Show me another party who can speak of the same, not one. And there are people out there who say all political parties are the same. My brothers and sisters, this is what makes us different. They talk and we work. They deceive and we deliver. 1,000 nameless, faceless, racist, rambunctious social media miscreants can't change that. And even as we celebrate our journey, our progress, and even our greatness, we must admit that there is a nasty wind of change trying to sweep over this country based on wickedness, desperation, deception, and lies by those who are prepared to get back in office by any means necessary. all in an effort to destroy what we have built, all in an effort to destroy that strong legacy, to rewrite history, to tear down what we have built, and to rob your children of their heritage and patrimony. I couldn't make any of this up if I tried. You see them on social media, fast and furious. When you tap on the profile, no name, no face, probably a picture, saying the nastiest of things, and intimidating you, youth officer, social media officer, lady vice chairman, from responding because you're afraid of what they're gonna say about you. Old Gangali like me, I here to fight them. Old battalion, as the old people say in Tobago, old dirty washpan, meet me here. You bring China ware would come and go, nice fancy glasses. You know, in every woman who does cook house have a big old dirty washpan. When it's Christmas, when you're doing harvest, you use your washpan. Anything come and go, but that washpan stay right there. The old women in Tobago say, old battalion, old dirty washpan like me. I here for them. I'm here for them. So social media to newspaper. And it calls on you to check your morals, because we tell little children, and we are taught as a people, you get up in the morning and you buy the newspapers because it tells you what's going on in the country. Now you can't trust what you read, and you can't believe everything you hear and see in what they call news. And it calls upon you to check how well are we protecting and preserving this thing called democracy. Because as much as you have that right and responsibility to use your finger or to use the information that you have to make decisions about who you choose to lead you, for the people, by the people. But what good is a people who don't have the right information, who's not going to stop to check, who circulate, share on items that they haven't even researched? How well is that going for our democracy? And we have to ask ourselves, what kind of values are we upholding? What are we tolerating? It makes you check yourself, your morals and everything. What are we teaching our children? It will be a tragedy, even a travesty, if we simply sit down and watch. Sometimes we say, don't worry, Jesus is going to work it out. But Jesus helped those who help themselves. And I grew up in a household with a father who taught me resistance against the oppressor is obedience to God. We spent all these years, 66 years, to build a fortress. Williams didn't leave his family in the US to come home to watch us just let it die. Prime ministers over the years, MPs, councillors who go out there and face the fire, we don't do that work in vain to watch our fortress crumble by liars, by deceivers, by racists, by thieves. We have a duty to protect our heritage. And as much as we say God would handle it, God don't like laziness, and he don't like whatlessness. Same way you build a nice house, you get an alarm system to protect it. Yes, anything you spend time and energy on, you protect it. So how dare you build a fortress and leave it to somebody else to watch and to protect for you? Yes, you elect an MP, but democracy is about all of us preserving that democracy. The work that Dr. Rowley puts in, that your MP puts in, and we come here and we say the MP nice. We are holding our bit of the bargain. We are keeping our promise. And we're counting on each and every one of you to keep your side of the bargain too, to protect this fortress called the People's National Movement. We say the PNM machinery is oiled and it's been working for years and so on. But the political climate has changed tremendously, and we must be nimble. We must be quick. We must be vigilant. We must be courageous and confident. Because I tell you something, if she and her folks are spending hours spewing their venom and spreading lies, why must I rest? Why must we rest if our business is to spread the good? Because we have stories to tell. And we expect people to just know normally and naturally that's the PNM. The same way they tell their lies over and over again, get out there and tell your stories over and over and over again. How can I flinch? How can I falter to an opposing party with a leader who is never present and seldom sober? How? How can I flinch? How can I falter to a party who, when they had their chance to lead, they did nothing but thief out the treasury? How? How can I flinch? How can I falter when your frontline members, we have a frontline member on civil charges, dodging jail, and the chief of your bench is out on bail? How? So you write whatever you write about me and circulate what you want about the PNM, and you expect me to flinch and to falter? Check every single member of the People's National Movement. We serve selflessly, walk in the constituency, attending to the needs of our people. None of us facing the court, dodging jail. None of us out on bail. And we're led by Dr. the Honorable Keith Christopher Rowley. Brothers and sisters, how can I flinch? How can I stumble? How can I falter? And you see, they know what they're doing. It's deliberate. They would write what they want and circulate what they want, and then the following day give you a little apology in the corner when the lies have traveled miles and miles and miles. I recently had to call a journalist. I said, why did you do this? Why did you write these lies about me? And she said, well, I was in a hurry. I didn't get to check the facts. Then she went further to tell me, well, we know you're back broad and you're strong. You could take it. I said, even if you know I could take it, you don't think I have a family? You think I have parents? She said, well, I don't have parents. I wouldn't know. And you out there, years of experience in the media, and my children have to read your papers for the truth. So they doing their work. You have to check on yourself and do your work too. I am emboldened each and every day by the courage and commitment of my 22 colleagues. I'm reassured by the diligence and determination of every single alderman, mayor, and councillor. We are all guided and led by the indefatigable political leader, Dr. the Honorable Keith Christopher Rowley. Right leader, right time, a man of integrity, always committed to our country. He led us through the most turbulent times, and despite the chaos and confusion generated by the opposition, the anchor holds. The anchor holds, and we persevere, stable and strong. Brothers and sisters, Trinidad and Tobago is in good hands. Your government is keeping its promise. We are doing our part, and we call on you to do your part too, in the spirit of Dr. Eric Williams, who on the night when he spoke to the members of the Youth League on August 30th, 1962, the message then is still also relevant today. He said, the nation is on a march. There is no turning back. The road from here now leads forward and only forward. Your responsibility, therefore, is a very heavy one. If you shirk it, you betray our nation. If you fail in that responsibility, then you jeopardize the nation. Arouca Maloney, this is a clarion call for you to stay focused. This is a clarion call for all of you, man, woman, and even little child, to mind your business. This is a clarion call to all PNMites across the nation. Buckle up, turn up the temperature, and don't you slacken your riding. No sticking, no stalling, no giving up, no giving in. This time, we redouble our efforts for our men, our women, our youth, and the little children. No retreat, no surrender. PNM forever and ever. I say no retreat, no surrender. PNM forever and ever and ever and ever. Great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. Great is the PNM, and we shall prevail. I thank you, Arouca Maloney.